Hi everyone, I'm Miriam Gordon-Stewart, Artistic Director of Victory Hall Opera and Director of UNSUNG. Thank you for joining me for what would normally be my pre-show talk if we were doing live theatre. I still wanted to give you a few little insights into what you're about to watch that will hopefully help to inform your viewing of this operamentary. In 2020, Victory Hall Opera, like so many other companies in the world, had to cancel productions. More specifically, we had to cancel our planned production of La Traviata, but we really wanted to keep those contracts in place. As a company that is run by singers, we knew the importance of every gig to every singer, and during that pandemic time that continues as we release this film. So we reinvented our La Traviata production to become this documentary film that you are about to watch. We saw this as an opportunity to look into some deeper issues about what it is like to be a singer, what it means to be a singer. Why do we need singers? What are we actually missing during the pandemic when we don't get to hear the human voice projected in this incredible classically trained way? We hope that we're missing something, but we really wanted to look at what that was. So in Unsung, you will see the backstage lives of 5 successful American opera singers who, even before the pandemic, were on unique journeys. The music that you will hear as the soundtrack to this film is recorded by the subjects of the documentary. So these 5 singers who are in the film, Rochelle, Victor, Carlton, Brenda, and Matthew, are the singers that you will hear in the recording. We made that recording right here in Charlottesville over the course of 1 week, and it was a beautiful week. It was the first time all of us had experienced live music and had been in the room creating music together in well over 6 months. That time frame has now expanded out, but there was this one little bubble right there in the middle of the summer when we all came together and had that experience. We were very careful in the creation of the film. Part of the reason that we wanted our singers to film from home is so that they could maintain their safety during the pandemic. And the recording was also under strict protocols. You do not need to know the plot of La Traviata to watch this film, but I'm going to tell you a few little pieces anyway that might give you a few little insights into the themes that we drew upon. La Traviata is the story of a courtesan who is dying of consumption and who falls in love for the first time in her life. She finds a real love in the last moments of her life. And she has to give that love up. She has to sacrifice it in order to preserve the honor of the family of that man who she falls in love with. It's also a story of redemption. It's a story of realizing in the last minute what the world revolves around, and that love is at the center of the universe for all of the characters in the opera. The theme of sacrifice is one that all of us are familiar with. Especially during the pandemic, and especially for those of you who have children. This has been a time of real struggle. But what's interesting to me as the director of this film is to listen to this music that was created hundreds of years ago and to realize that so much of what we're experiencing now in terms of this real kind of visceral presence of death around us, the turmoil of society, and the power of love is all still so relevant right now, and that the music captures our soul's experience right now, in spite of having been written 200 years ago. That's the power of art. That's the longevity of it. And I hope that by hearing that music written a long time ago with these stories told now, you get a sense of what it's like to be an opera singer. We're modern people for the most part, We're living contemporary lives with children and iPhones. But this music that we are trained over decades to sing is kind of playing through our subconscious a lot of the time. It's almost like it becomes the soundtrack to our lives. And that's what we kind of wanted to capture in Unsung, and I hope that that comes across. So obviously during the pandemic, every arts company in the world is struggling, and I wanted to just make a point of telling you right now, no matter where you are in the world watching this film, all the way from Australia to Europe to right here in the States, that word of mouth is the most valuable thing to us right now. We're a small company. We don't have a big marketing budget. So if you watch this film and you enjoy it, I really encourage you to tell your friends about it via social media or via any other means. And that way you can support a little rural opera company that is really trying to make it through in these hard times. Also, if you ever want to know exactly what's being sung, we've included the translation to all of the music in the closed captions. So if you click on the CC or on the little wheel, the little settings wheel there, you can select subtitles and they will tell you exactly what's being sung about in those more exposed musical moments. You can click it on and off if you like. Okay, I really hope you enjoy Unsung. It took us 9 months of blood, sweat and tears and a lot of joy to make. Here's to opera surviving more centuries into the future and evolving as it goes.